The Black Mirror episode, Be Right Back, explores the meaning of loss in humanity. The penultimate scene uses mise-en-scene, camera techniques, and angles to show that in the relationship between humans and technology, humans will be the superior, no matter how complex the technology is. Also, no matter how reliant we are on technology, nothing will compare to a human being. The opening shot of the cliffside scene shows Martha marching up a trail, with Ash following behind. The wind is blowing, but the sun still shines on our characters. The audience sees storm clouds up ahead, and the characters are headed straight towards them. This is symbolic of the trouble they are about to face on the cliffside. As the camera shows Martha turning behind to Ash, we see her at a low angle, cementing the idea that she is in charge. We
Come
then
on!
see Ash at a considerably high angle, making him seem small and subservient. He asks Martha,
Where are we going?
as if he were a child asking his mother rather than a husband with his wife. This shows the audience the power dynamic between the two is unequal. Also,
Just
note the
hurry
camera
up!
movement here. The camera moves slightly to suggest movement along with the characters, but the shot remains relatively steady. This will be compared to the camera movement later in the scene. We see flying seagulls and hear them cry, which could be foreshadowing Martha's cry later in the scene. The camera cuts to a shot that once again shows Martha in the high ground over Ash. He jokingly says,
No! Don't do it!
which also foreshadows Martha's guttural cry at the end of the scene.
Seriously, don't.
As the conversation plays on, the
I'm not
camera
going
cuts
to.
between over-the-shoulder shots of each character, and we further see the contrast of their emotions. Martha is visibly uneasy and upset, while Ash still smiles and tries to be lighthearted. Martha's mood matches the dark, cloudy sky and stormy wind, while Ash's is out of place. The imbalance of emotion between the two characters throughout the scene shows that Martha knows something Ash does not and cannot understand,
See, he would
which
have
once
worked out what
again
was
is an
going on.
imbalance of power in this relationship.
This wouldn't have ever happened, but if it had, he would have worked it out.
Sorry, hang on, that's a very difficult sentence to process.
Jump.
Martha tells Ash to jump, something that would immediately alarm any
Over there.
human. Instead, he
I
troubleshoots and
never
expresses
expressed
confusion.
suicidal thoughts or self-harm.
Yeah, well, you aren't you, are you?
That's another difficult one, to be honest with you.
You're just a few ripples of you. There's no history to you. You're just a performance of stuff that he performed.
However,
without
once
thinking,
Martha
and it's
presses
not
him,
enough.
he
Come
agrees.
on. I aim to please.
Aim to jump, just do it.
Okay. If you're absolutely sure.
The camera pans over Ash's shoulder and shows the terrifying height he was about to jump. If he were human, he would obviously object, but because he is a subservient clone, he would comply. This is the ultimate example that humans hold authority and superiority over technology.
Slept off, he would have been crying, he would have been...
Oh.
Once Martha points out the real Ash would be frightened and crying, Ash slowly begins to unconvincingly cry and beg Martha not to die.
Oh. Oh. Oh God, no. Please, I don't want to do it. Please don't make me do it.
No, that's not fair.
No, I'm frightened. Darling, please, don't make me. I don't want to die.
Even though Ash's emotions now match the rest of the scene, it still feels inauthentic and forced. This highlights what Martha has been struggling with. This clone is not the real Ash, no matter how real it may seem. This clone still does everything that Martha asks him to do, including begging for his life. Martha was looking for a partner, not someone to hold authority over.
God, I don't
This
want
pushes
to die.
Martha to the metaphorical edge, and she screams out into the sea. The camera cuts to black, and for a few moments we are left with a cliffhanger, which allows the audience's mind to race at the possibility of what might have happened. In this moment, we see no matter how complex technology can get, nothing will replace humanity. Martha had already lost her husband, but in that moment, she had lost him all over again once she realized that nothing will ever fit in his place. No matter how convincing the clone was, it was not Ash. The overall effect of the acting, the setting, and camera techniques in this scene suggests to the audience that no matter how autonomous technology might seem, humans hold authority and superiority to it. And no matter how lifelike technology is, it is not completely human.